In today's video, we need to talk about Victor Gyokeres, who is flopping at Arsenal. His performances are no better than Højlund's performances last season, where he's having 5 touches in a single half against Wolves. His touch is off, his everything is off, and he just doesn't look like an Arsenal player. Did Man United get a blessing in disguise by getting Sesko and not Gyokeres because Gyokeres rejected us? We'll talk about him. Zirkzee to Roma, there's some news updates on that. Man United have a new transfer target in Tyler Adams for the midfield. We're keeping our squad ahead of the Bournemouth game, a big secret. Why are we doing that? And we're going to talk about our goals for next season and Europe. And you also might be going, Alice, why are you wearing sunglasses? And that is because I have a banging headache. But hello, and welcome back to Alice Talks Football, and welcome back to your 10-minute news roundup video. Where I'm going to round up all the latest Manchester United news into 10 minutes. In today's show, we're mostly going to be discussing Victor Gyokeres and if he's regretting picking Man United over Arsenal, because while Gyokeres has been bad, he's just not the kind of player that Arsenal need. Arsenal do not play to his strengths, whereas Man United actually do. So we're going to discuss that. But first of all, I want to talk about the squad for Bournemouth. Then we're going to get into the Gyokeres news. United are set to keep the availability of AFCON trio and Bouma Ahmad and Mazraoui secret ahead of the Bournemouth match. Club sources said they do not want to give away any team news ahead of the game. Watch it be leaked today or tomorrow before the game anyway. Watch there be a leak. I think we won't have Mazraoui, but I think we might be able to keep Bouma and Ahmad. That is the hope, because Mazraoui's first game is 3 days before Ahmad and Mbeumo's first game. But basically, we just don't want Bournemouth to know, because if we have Ahmad and Mbeumo, we're going to have a very attacking right-hand side. If we don't have Ahmad and Mbeumo, it's going to be a very defensive right-hand side. And Iriola, if he knows we're not going to have them, or he knows we're going to have them, he can plan for that game a little bit better. So obviously, I think United are doing the right thing by keeping it secret. I'm not going to speak too much about this, but look, I think missing Ahmad and Mbeumo, both of them, is going to be big, because I've always felt our best games have come when we've had a winger at wing-back and the wing-backs have been more attacking. When you play 2 full-backs at wing-back, we seem to be more boring, we seem to be defensive, and I think there's such a good opportunity here to maybe get 5th place and get Champions League football with all the other teams not being as good. And I feel like it'll be annoying if we drop points in these upcoming games because we maybe lack an attack without Ahmad and Mbeumo. Be nice to see Bruno maybe play further up, see Kobe in the pivot, maybe see Shea Lacey get some minutes. But yes, we'll have to wait and see on Monday. But let's talk about Victor Gyokeres, who finished the game versus Wolves with 3 passes, 0 goals, 0 assists, 0 shots on target. Victor Gyokeres has been very, very poor for Arsenal. 3 passes in a single game. Victor Gyokeres is so Højlund last season was playing with worse players in a worse team and getting no service. Now Victor Gyokeres isn't getting service, but he's playing with better players in a better team. And I'm going to be honest, his performance versus Wolves was worse than that Højlund performance versus Chelsea. And let's just say Højlund gave the ball away more times than he completed passes. Victor Gyokeres also gave the ball away more times than he completed passes. He's looked really off it at Arsenal. And I do think the reason Victor Gyokeres hasn't been good at Arsenal is they don't play to his strengths. He had 5 touches in the first half. Eventually, he apparently had 1 shot, but none on target. It was a very poor game from Victor Gyokeres, who has been poor at Arsenal because Gabriel Jesus comes off the bench after being out for a year with an ACL, and twice Gabriel Jesus has come off the bench and looked a lot better than Gyokeres that's been putting in these stinky performances, bar the Champions League. Now, it's been poor for Gyokeres. Marino's looked a lot better at striker. Gabriel Jesus is looking a lot better. And to be honest, Arsenal don't play to his strengths. And if I'm Victor Gyokeres, I sit there thinking, you know what? Yes, Arsenal are more likely to win the league. Yes, Arsenal are in the Champions League, but I should have gone to United. I think Victor Gyokeres is sitting there thinking, maybe I should have gone to United, because we play a game, or Amorim wants to play a game plan where Victor Gyokeres would be allowed to run the channels, where Victor Gyokeres would be allowed large spaces. Victor Gyokeres at Arsenal is asked to basically be a target man, try and drop deep, link play, and help break down low blocks. Victor Gyokeres is not your guy for breaking down low blocks. Victor Gyokeres is not very technical. Victor Gyokeres is a running behind powerhouse. If you're playing the kind of running behind powerhouse transition, big space football, Victor Gyokeres is your guy. Man United will struggle in some games with Gyokeres when we're expected to dominate possession and break teams down. But we know that Man United want to play a more long ball, more transitional, more approach. If I'm Victor Gyokeres, I'm thinking Arsenal do not play to my strengths. They're putting crosses in the box. That is not my strength. They're not playing it down the channel. I'm not getting to run in behind. I'm not getting the big spaces. Obviously, one is because it's the Premier League, and two, it's because it's the way Arsenal play. If I'm Victor Gyokeres, I'm thinking, you know what? Maybe I should have gone to Man United for my career. Because Man United, their way of playing suits me better. But he rejected us for Arsenal. And you know what? Blessing in disguise, I think, as a Man United fan, that Victor Gyokeres rejected us. Because look, Ekitike is clearly the winner. Ekitike, he's clearly the best striker signing of the summer so far. Then probably Voltemada in second, and then people are like, Sesko's the biggest flop. Sesko has been better than Gyokeres, and Sesko has been better than Delap, and Sesko's also the youngest, so Sesko has the most potential. Look, I generally think missing out on Gyokeres and getting Sesko might be a blessing in disguise. I wish Sesko was available versus Wolves because I feel like Sesko would have bagged some goals versus Wolves. Gyokeres only has one more open play goal than Sesko in the league this season, playing for a better team, playing more minutes. So I actually think that missing out on Gyokeres could be a blessing in disguise because I wanted him badly in the summer, but I've seen him in the Premier League and he is just stinky. And some of it is because Arsenal don't play to his strengths. But I do think Gyokeres must be there thinking, because he's going to lose his place to Marino, Jesus, Havertz when he's back. I think when Havertz is back, he might struggle to get a start. I do think Gyokeres is going to be sitting there thinking, you know what? Did I make the wrong call? Should I have gone to Manchester United? I do. I think that's what Gyokeres is going to be thinking because at least if he went to us, we'd probably play more to his strengths. Anyway, let's continue on into more news because Man United have a new transfer target in Tyler Adams, and there's also some updates on Joshua Zirkzee. So in regards to Joshua Zirkzee, I want to talk about this story first. Roma sporting director Frederick Massara and chief footballing operator Maurizio Lombardo have flown to London to negotiate the signing of Joshua Zirkzee with United. They're holding talks with Man United and Zirkzee's agent. So this is coming out from Italian sources. Matteo Moretti said there could be a meeting in a couple of weeks. Core Sport are saying that actually there's people from Roma already flying out and having talks with Manchester United over bringing Zirkzee in on loan. Let me get the tweet up. Oh, let me share my screen. So this is what's coming out on Zirkzee. We know that no decision is going to be made till after AFCON, so I'm going to take everything in regards to Zirkzee leaving with a pinch of salt until AFCON is over, and I think he could go. Man United have a new midfield target. We know Anderson Mortar-Baleba is what we want, but they're for the summer. There has been talk of Tyler Adams or João Gomez in January, but Di has given an update on United looking at Tyler Adams and what the latest is. Man United want Tyler Adams, but Bournemouth want to keep him. They want to qualify for European football, and they don't need to sell their players because they already sold 2 big players in the summer. They don't have financial problems. Yeah, like Bournemouth don't need to sell, and also Semenyo has a 65 million release clause, and he's going to go, and that's out of Bournemouth's control. So they're going to get 65 million for Semenyo, so they're not going to sell Tyler Adams, who United like and would like in January, but there's just no chance of getting him in January. João Gomez was Wolves' man of the match yesterday versus Arsenal. He was fantastic. If Wolves are going to have any hope of staying up, they're going to need João Gomez, who obviously didn't play against us, and you can see how much better they are with João Gomez on the pitch. So I can't see Wolves selling João Gomez. João Gomez and Tyler Adams are seen as like a Ugarte replacement. Elliot Anderson is seen as more of a Casemiro replacement, but I just can't see us being able to get any of our sort of midfield targets in January, which is annoying, unless we really, really push. But I think, you know, if I'm INEOS, I think there's a really good opportunity to get European football this season, maybe sneak a UCL spot. So I'd be investing in January. I'd be saying, look, it's so close. The teams that invest in January are probably the teams that are going to get these last few European places. Liverpool are going to invest in January. Tottenham are ready to invest in January. Newcastle ready to invest in January. Even though we've got one game a week, so we should be better than these teams second half of the season because of the fitness, I do think we risk falling off if we don't invest in January. I think we should really do what we can to see if we can get a midfielder over the line. Of course, I don't want panic deals. I don't want bringing in someone crap just for the sake of bringing someone in, but I think we should try. Anyway, let me know your thoughts down below. Let me know your thoughts on Victor Gyokeres down below. Thank you for watching. Bye.